been increasing its attempts to erase Islamic culture during Ramadan by forcing Muslims to violate doctrines and endure severe restrictions on movement. According to Bitter Winter, an online magazine focused on religious liberty in China, some Chinese local governments have been asked the police to enhance their monitoring of Muslims since Ramadan began, especially during Friday prayers and Eid al-Fitr. Uyghur students have been banned from practicing their religion during the holy month. One high school teacher in Shandong confirmed that the school was forcing Uyghur students to eat pork with their classmates. To turn them into Chinese is the end goal of the education. Last year, the Chinese government, which recognized Islam as an ideological illness that must be eradicated, erected spring couplets that included pigs on Uyghurs' doors to celebrate the Year of the Pig. Any Uyghur who took it down was put into indefinite detention at the brutal internment camps. According to the World Uyghur Congress, in the view of Chinese officials, Islam is as an ideological illness that must be eradicated. More shockingly, Arslan Hidayat, Chinese Uyghur activist, took to Twitter, flashing out the bizarre treatment given to Uyghurs in China. He tweeted about how the Uyghur women are forced to take down their hijab when approached by the Chinese.
来，快点！哎，快点来 ，OK 一个，快的，来，快来 ，OK 一个 ，OK。
Okay, okay.
He also exposed schools in Xinjiang, East Turkestan, serving mandatory lunch to make sure the students are not fulfilling their fasts in Ramadan. Arslan questioned about Turkey's silence for Uyghur Muslims, talking about China's ruthless and endless genocidal policies. The United States Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said on the Senate floor last week that the chamber would take up legislation aimed at punishing China for its treatment of its Uyghur Muslim minority. The bill introduced by Senator Marco Rubio would condemn the internment of more than 1 million Uyghurs and members of other Muslim minority groups in Xinjiang region of China and calls for closing the camps where they are being held. Brothers and sisters, millions more Uyghur families in Xinjiang have been under lockdown in their homes for the past few years. Their cultural expressions, movements, and communication surveilled and controlled by the Chinese Communist Party. Uyghurs who have escaped the camps claim they were tortured and forced to recite CCP propaganda. Uyghurs are held in detention for crimes such as having a beard, having a Muslim name, having WhatsApp on their phone, having family members who live abroad, or for no apparent reason at all. There is difficulty in getting information out of Xinjiang. China has restricted access to foreign journalists and reporters. Muslims unfortunately have very little sympathy globally at the moment. There is the specter of Islamophobia globally that sits behind the issue for ignorance of Uyghurs. The Chinese government has been cracking down on the Uyghurs for decades. Beijing has banned Uyghur parents from naming their sons Muhammad, blocking their children from entering mosques, forbade Uyghur government employees from fasting during Ramadan. Uyghur Muslim men are prohibited from growing abnormally long beards, while Uyghur Muslim women cannot wear the face veil in public.